This is Amazon Luna, and this is Google Stadia. Both of these companies offer cloud gaming experiences to thousands of players around the world every day. But is one of them better than the other? When it comes down to speed, which one is the fastest? Let's talk about it.
Are you listening?
Who has the fastest cloud gaming platform around? You know what, guys, let's scrap that. I don't like the way that that's written. Can we try it? I don't know. It just feels like something's missing. I got it. It's time for the epic speed test of cloud gaming platforms. Pretty sure that's a reference that, like, based on our analytics, 20% of the people watching right now are going to understand. The other 80% were probably like learning to crawl at that moment in history. You know, I've been using both Google Stadia and Amazon Luna since their launch, and for the most part, they both work really well for me. And at the end of the day, they both serve their purpose: stream games at a high enough quality that it makes me forget that I am not gaming via a console or a PC. And even though I really enjoy both of these platforms, the competitive side of me has always wondered, who is the Eli Manning and who's the Peyton Manning? Who's the In-N-Out and who's the Whataburger? Who is the Kermit the Frog and who is Gonzo? Who is Bugs Bunny and who's Daffy Duck? Who's Peter Griffin and who's Home? I think we pushed that bit to its limit real fast. So anyway, I reached out to some of the nation's top NASA scientists and composed a highly complicated test to gauge which one of these cloud gaming platforms is better than the other. All right, that was a lie. I just recorded some gameplay footage and just put a timer in the top corner. But I did want to test the cloud gaming platform speeds in two different scenarios. The first of which being the startup process, where you select a game, boot it up, and end that timer when you reach the title screen. And the second one being from the title screen to the moment that the game allows you to take over control. And in order to ensure that we're getting similar experiences on both platforms, we're going to test games that are available on both services. Games like Control Ultimate Edition, Chorus, The Falconeer, and Resident Evil 7. And I gotta admit, some of these outcomes actually surprised me. Like in the case of Control Ultimate Edition, when going from the startup menu to the game's title screen, it took Google Stadia 46.31 seconds, whereas Amazon Luna was able to accomplish this same process in 39.59 seconds, giving Amazon Luna the first W of our little experiment. But when we moved on to starting a new game of Control, it took Amazon Luna 2 minutes and 47 seconds to get started, whereas with Google Stadia, the process took 2 minutes and 46 seconds, with Stadia outpacing Amazon Luna by a whole half second. But either way, a W is a W, which means that Stadia is now on the board. Now, the next game we tried out was Chorus, and this is where things got really interesting, because Stadia was able to go from the start menu to the game's title page in 37.83 seconds, whereas Amazon Luna took 43.89 seconds to accomplish this exact same feat, which means Stadia wins this test. However, start menu to gameplay was a lot closer, with Google Stadia completing this process in 3 minutes and 44 seconds, and Amazon Luna finished it in 3 minutes and 46 seconds. 2 seconds slower than Google Stadia, meaning that with the game Chorus, Google Stadia swept this round of tests. So then we moved on to Resident Evil 7. This time, Google Stadia was able to go from the start menu to the game's title page in 1 minute and 9 seconds, and Amazon Luna came in almost 10 seconds faster, being able to complete this process in an even minute. So, in the case of Resident Evil Startup, Amazon Luna definitely does take the W here. But oh, how the tables can turn so quickly. When we tried to boot up a brand new game, Amazon Luna took 2 minutes and 41 seconds to finish this process, whereas Google Stadia came in 5 seconds faster with a time of 2 minutes and 36 seconds, which means that since Stadia won this round, with Resident Evil, we have a tie. Now, our final game is The Falconeer, and Amazon Luna took roughly 1 minute and 10 seconds to reach that game's title menu, whereas with Stadia, it took us about 1 minute and 7 seconds to complete it. So, coming in 3 seconds faster than Amazon Luna, Stadia wins this speed test. And that margin tightened even closer, as when we tried to get into an actual game, Luna took 53 seconds, whereas Stadia took 52 seconds. Literally a difference of 1 second, meaning that Stadia clears the board once again, this time for Falconeer. Now, what probably surprised me the most about this experiment is how evenly matched both of these platforms were. Like, oftentimes, we are talking about a difference of a couple seconds. For example, in the case of the Falconeer, when you combine the entire process, Stadia is faster than Luna by 2 seconds. With Resident Evil 7, Luna was faster than Stadia by 4 seconds. When playing Chorus, Stadia beat Luna by a whole 8 seconds, and with Control Ultimate Edition, Luna was 7 seconds faster than Stadia. And again, we are talking about seconds here, and it's really hard to get upset about any of these results. And really, the big takeaway here is that cloud gaming as a vertical in video games is doing some really awesome things. And for me, seeing things like faster load times become an industry standard for these platforms gets me really excited. So to close out this experiment, shout out to both Google and Amazon. Keep up the great work, you got awesome technology, and thanks for saving me 10 seconds today. If I'm being honest, I'm probably gonna waste it by watching TikToks. Hey, thanks again for checking out our channel. If you like what you saw and you wanna see more content just like it, which who wouldn't, hit the subscribe button right there. And while you're down there, hit the like button. Maybe even consider becoming a Nerf Report best friend, just like the people listed down below did. In fact, don't you wanna see your name there? I know I do.